All right, I'm back. We got ourselves some Block 15 Brewing Company. This one is Sticky Hands. You can see the cupped hands there with a bunch of sticky resinous hops. This one, it says the hop experience on the bottom. 1 pint, 8.1 ounces. You see that there? Let's see. All right, Sticky Hands. Offering a luscious blend of flavor and drinkability, this hop experience ale features ample additions of sticky lupulin-packed hops. Lupulin. Lupulin is like the crystals, the little like the little flavor crystals that are on the hops. Grown in the Pacific Northwest. That's where I live. The result is an aromatic blast of citrus, tropical fruit, and dank herb that transitions into resinous hop flavor and a delightfully balanced finish. It says freshy fresh. This beer was canned and delivered super fresh through our self-distribution program, which is designed around cold storage and weekly delivery, ensuring that every can of Sticky Hands contains a vibrant hop experience. And then it says unfiltered craft beer, hop resin and yeast may settle in the bottom of the can. It's natural. Don't worry about it. So all of that info right there. So let's crack this and get into it. This is a beer that I am quite familiar with out of Corvallis, Oregon. So good. That is a Pacific Northwest staple right there. Very vibrant hop character. Nice whack of bitterness. Very good. Banging. Alright, let's get into it. Løthur Grooming. This one is in their Dave scent. Løthur had a release today of Namka. And that one was a rose forward scent that I had no interest in. It was like rose and oud and some other stuff. Not interested at all, but I did figure I should bust out some Løthur. Anyways, so this was the V1, the original Løthur release of Dave. And so the base has been tweaked. I don't know if it had been changed at all, but the percentages or the ratios had been tweaked from what I understand. So V2 is same ingredients but different ratios or something like that. So V1, don't judge it too harshly because it has been updated. But V1 Løthur, that's what it looks like. It is rather soft, very easy to indent, as you just saw there. Very easy to indent, very soft. Off the puck, it's definitely below medium in my opinion. I do have it lathered up already right here in my Thirsty Badger shaving bowl. And so we got a very nice shiny looking lather going. You can see that nice swirl down there. Sorry, my light's just bugging out. But we got my Thirsty Badger shave bowl lather all lathered up, looking sexy. And we're using my favorite badger knot today, the Lancaster V1 badger knot. And there's my Lancaster Razorworks handle. This one I call Conquest. It's one of my 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse series of themed brushes. And this one's just kind of like in an ivory white with the triple flutes on the bottom. Very nice. I absolutely love that brush. It's not my favorite brush in the collection, but it has my favorite badger knot in my collection. Alright. Let's go ahead and get some water on the face. Stop messing around. Haven't used Løthur since I first bought it. I think I used it twice, and then I just pushed it to the back of my drawer. In all honesty, I wasn't blown away. But I knew that changes were going to be made, and maybe I would reinvest once those changes were made. I am actually looking forward to their November release, or double release, I should say, that is in collaboration with the razor company, TRC. I'm looking forward to that. It's a double release, and it consists of a soap called Black and a soap called White. So, very interested in seeing what those are going to be, since I'm not interested in Namka. And also, I guess they came out with an aftershave, because when I bought this, they didn't have aftershaves. So I'm also interested to get my hands on their aftershave and see what that's all about. I'm sure it'll be good stuff. The soap is good quality. There's nothing shitty about it. There's a few things that I wish that this version 1 had a bit more of. And what I did like about my initial uses of it was that Johnny, the artisan behind Løthur, he reached out after, seeing my posts on social media and my video on YouTube. And he reached out and he said, how'd you like it, or what'd you think of it? And what do you think, could have been done better? And, I gave it to him straight, as I do with all artisans. I speak from, my wants and my needs. I understand more or less what the community wants, but I am a paying customer, so I always tell the artisans what I want. And I want my soaps to be bold and banging. I understand people go through frag burn and stuff like that, or they can get discomfort. I rarely do. And so, being selfish, I think of having bold and banging soaps. So I told him, I think you should increase the scent strength. Soap's a bit soft. I wish it was a little bit firmer. And I wish it was a little bit more dense. It does have a nice density. It's no slouch or anything like that. But I wish it had more density. Like, it could be thicker, creamier, all that. Now, just keep all this in mind. This is V1 and tweaks have been made. So, just keep all that in mind. Alright, let's get to the razor. This is the Homelike Shaving Colibri razor. And so I used this the other day when I was hammered, and I cut myself all up with their open comb offering. But this is their standard bar offering. You can see there, very nice knurling. It is very grippy, and it goes pretty much from top to bottom. No problem with that. Another thing I like is these little spirals here. They're pretty shallow, so cleanup is a breeze. That is important. Other companies like, what's that one that everybody likes? I can't even remember it because it's not even fucking memorable. But the one that has a little divot in the middle. Whatever. If they have deep rings, they're hard to clean. It's a pain in the ass. One thing about this is a 1.5 blade gap. I want you to take a look at that. Now this is the Rockwell 6S, and this is on their 6 plate. So let me see if I can show you. That's their 6 plate right there. That's their most aggressive setting. Let's see if I can line these up. But you see the difference in those blade gaps? I don't know why it's not focusing on the razors. Basically, there's a huge difference between those blade gaps. That's their 6 plate. A lot of people own a Rockwell, so I figured they would be, familiar with the Rockwell. But 1.5 millimeter blade gap, that is a huge blade gap. It is a polished finish. I personally don't think I could... Are you serious? You see that fly? This is going off the rails quickly. I personally don't think that I could live with a, like, really good polish finish. Because this one here, every time I get my fingerprints on it, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I have to, like, my OCD, like, forces me to wipe it down. There we go. I want to get those lines nice and tight. The Colibri razor, I did use it last night after getting home from the brewery. I had an off-camera shave, which doesn't happen very often, but I don't know what got into me. I just felt like doing it, and then I did it. It was pretty relaxing. But I used it yesterday. Same blade. So this is a Voskhod Blade on its third use. So, as you can imagine, the blade is very, very smooth at this point. Voskhod is already smooth off the rip. But after 3 uses, it's very, very smooth. One thing I noticed yesterday was I was always aware of the blade feel. This one, to me, although it doesn't feel threatening, I'm pretty used to blade feel. It definitely lets you know that the blade's there at all times. It has like so much blade feel that you pretty much know where you're at on your face at all times. Like I said, it doesn't feel like threatening or anything like that. It is still a very smooth shave. But man, it kind of makes you want to slow down and think about your angle and think about your technique. It really it puts you in that state of mind. And I don't know if I showed the under part of the razor, but it just has some additional information, some Russian. I forgot what Lee told me. They're not Russian letters. They're something else, Russian symbols or something. But it does say the blade gap. It says some like multiple things in Russian. So who knows? Look it up online. Homelike Shaving. Google it. All right, first pass down. Everything went very smoothly. The Løthur, even in V1, it's a good soap. Like, there's no doubt about that. I think I was a bit harsh on it on my initial review. Mainly because there was some good hype leading up to its release. And when I got my hands on it, I just didn't feel like it lived up to that hype. No fault of the artisans whatsoever, but on my channel, I'm just going to call it how I see it, and that's what I did. And I don't take any of that back. I still don't think it lived up to the hype, but objectively, it's a good soap. It's a damn good soap. All right, I don't think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but it is a damn good shave soap. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's get some more of this creamy, luxurious looking lather right there. Nice and tight, no big bubbles or any bullshit like that. Very nice, creamy, luxurious looking lather. A little bit over here, a little bit over there. I absolutely love the face feel of this Lancaster V1 Badger Knot. Absolutely luxurious in my opinion. Can't wait for him to release like a follow-up to this just to see if he can somehow top it in my book. I like it because it's not so dense. This one doesn't eat lather, and it has good flow through. Just look at that. We made a nice lather today, I'll tell you what. Very nice. You ever have so much lather left over that your second pass looks better than your first pass? Because I think that might be the situation today. I definitely loaded heavy on today's lather. I wanted to make sure that I gave it a fair shake. You know what I mean? If I got another crappy lather on my third go, I'd probably rip Løthur to shreds. So I loaded heavy as fuck just because I wanted to make sure that I gave it a fair shake. And we made a damn good lather today. That's for sure. I don't know if you can hear that feedback, but this one, it definitely brings it. I think the larger the blade gap, probably the more difficult it would be to reduce blade chatter, especially if the blade gap and the blade exposure were, you know, kind of up there. Just because if there's so much blade hanging out and so little underneath it, it's bound to flex. You know what I mean? Now, I've had razors with blade chatter and got perfectly irritation-free BBS shaves, no weepers, shit like that. So blade chatter doesn't really bother me unless it bothers me. You know what I mean? And all I mean by that is, like, blade chatter doesn't bother me unless it actually causes irritation or weepers or something like that. If I'm still getting drama-free shaves, I could care less if it has blade chatter. Oh, you know what? I realize I hadn't talked much about the scent. I have reviewed this before, though, so it's not like this is a new product to my channel. But it's a tea scent. So that, you know, it has some fruity notes, but it's more or less a very beautiful tea scent. And I am a lover of tea fragrances, so that's why I chose Dave over the other offerings at the time. Glad I did, because I do enjoy the scent. I just kind of wish it was a little bit stronger. Kind of hate it when I find a fragrance that I enjoy, but it's weak as fuck. It kind of gives you like fragrance blue balls when you have a scent that you enjoy, but it's not strong. And I'll tell you what, having a huge blade gap like that really helps the razor rinse out, but it also has fantastic rinse ports that goes the whole length of the razor. All right, let's go ahead and rinse off the face with our sink full of used shaving soap and whiskers. I notice some people get grossed out about that somehow. For me, most of the time, I just hopped out of the shower. So, for one, my face is already clean. Two, soap, although we're using it for shaving and not cleansing, but all soap is cleansing. So, that's the other thing. You're actually putting soap to your face and then shaving it off. So, really don't understand why people get grossed out by using their sink full of used soap. I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all. I do much worse with these hands than dunk them into shaving soap. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's get the Lancaster Razor Works towel. Get all this lather off. Or so did I say, get all this Løthur off, because that's pretty much the same thing. Løthur, and some other language, I guess it just means lather. So, very creative branding there. Now I just sound like a hater, don't I? I don't hate Løthur. I hope they have all the success. And like I said, I'll be tuned in to that black and white release, double release. Because I want to pick up the V2. I want to give it a shot. And I want to be able to have nothing but high praises for Løthur in the future. So that's what I want from every artisan. I don't want to hate, but I have to be objective. Call it like I see it. Not how the community sees it. I call it how I see it. Alright. We do not have a matching aftershave because I don't think there is one yet. So we're going to go with Noble Otter's Noir et Vanille, which is another beautiful tea scent. I actually like this one a little bit more than Dave, but they're not so different. So, not so different. Noir et Vanille has a strawberry note, which I think kind of takes it to another level. But I could imagine if Dave was stronger and competed scent strength wise with Noir et Vanille, I think it would share some similarities with this scent. And this is one of my all-time favorite scents. So it kind of lets you know that Dave is a pretty fucking good scent. It just needs to be stronger, in my opinion. Alright, let's get the residual on the forearms and let's wrap this one up. Whew, man, it smells good in this bathroom right now. If you haven't got this one, you really need to. It's a fucking banger of a scent. Which reminds me, I should break that out soon. Alright guys, that wraps it up. Sorry it went long. I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I will catch you on the next one. Cheers. I'm gonna fucking kill this fly.